possessions and a rugged non-conference slate. The Noles are 9-3.
Yeah, a great non-conference schedule for the Florida State Seminoles. Knocked off the Tennessee Lady Vols here earlier this season, and be a great matchup here this afternoon.
And the Noles come away with the opening tip. Omaria Gordon drives all the way to the bucket and lays it in. Great start for the Noles.
Maria Gordon, the second leading scorer on this team as a junior, finally fully healthy and able to do some good things there to start the game for Florida State.
Has flashed a very high level. Coach Wyckoff saying the next step is really sustaining it throughout the course of the entire season. She's looked good already. Back the other way, Georgia Tech responds with Kara Dunn, who has battled injury over the last couple of seasons, now fully healthy herself, and has been dynamite here in the month of December.
Latson getting things going from long range for Florida State. The Noles like to try to get those threes early and often. Latson getting things rolling for the Noles.
Florida State, a team with nearly 8.5 three-pointers per game. That's second best in the ACC. They're coming off a game against Alabama State where they made 14. Ananaz looking for some room as she drives into the paint. Took the extra step, though. That's a traveling violation. It goes back to the Noles.
Another look at that three from Tanaya Latson. Holds that follow-through. She knew it was good when she launched it.
Start for Florida State. That one in and out, though. Timpson, though, great work off the offensive glass, tipping it out to Sarah Bajetti, who puts up a wing three. It's too strong, though, and Dunn clears the board.
Rebounding going to be huge today for both of these teams. Who can get the extra shots on the offensive end? Georgia Tech, a very strong rebounding team.
Augusta with the spin move, now pulls up from the elbow. That is a smooth-looking stroke. A tremendous prospect out of high school who shot the lights out so far in her freshman campaign.
Leads the ACC in three-point field goal percentage. Augusta Naita shoots it over 40% from long range. There you saw she's got some mid-range game as well. Nice little turnaround, pull-up jump shot there.
Florida State called timeout off a misconnection on a pass from Omaria Gordon to Tanaya Latson. Noles maintain possession, but we'll take a break with them here on ACC NX.
This place is special. It's not just the things you learned, the friends you made, or the wins you saw. Touchdown! It's not even that you walk the same paths as renowned artists, CEOs, and Nobel laureates. But what makes FSU special is who you became while you were here.
And Doug says you can customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. He hits his mark center stage and is crushed by a baby grand piano.
Are you replacing me?
With this guy?
Customize and save with Liberty Bibberty.
He doesn't even have a mustache.
Oh, look, a bee-boo.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I recommend La Roche-Posay Lipicard Body Cream. One application a day keeps very dry skin away. 48-hour hydration helps repair the skin barrier. La Roche-Posay.
Being the best takes hard work. It takes early mornings, planning, precision, sweat, sacrifice, and teamwork. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in their game. Old Dominion Freight Line, helping the world keep promises.
narrowing the trades gap.
Our generation has a choice. Turn away from the world's problems or chase them down. We refuse to sit back and watch them pass us by. Watch us fly ahead. Rise to every challenge and overcome anything. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
1-point game here at the Donald L. Tucker Center. Florida State calling an early timeout to maintain possession here in Tallahassee, Florida. Thanks for joining us, Sean Davison, alongside Melissa Bruner, our entire ACC NX crew on hand here for the Yellow Jackets and the Seminoles, getting ACC play underway here from Florida's capital city. Tania Latson on the drive to the basket was short on the runner. Meanwhile, back the other way, Tony Morgan initiating a little contact.
That's Alexis Tucker there for Florida State, getting back in transition. That's that new rule into effect that you do not have to be out of the restricted area, and Alexis Tucker knew that, slid over in front of Tony Morgan, got her feet set, drew the foul.
Offensive foul by Tony Morgan. Back the other way comes Florida State. You mentioned Tucker. There she is on the turnaround. Nice looking shot.
Alexis Tucker averaging about 9 points a game for the Seminoles, the transfer from UCSB in her 5th and final season.
And then Florida State's last game against Alabama State came right out of the locker room in the second half and just blitzed Alabama State. Had 10 points in several minutes as Dunn lays it in. And I mentioned Dunn being on a tear here in December. They've played 5 games in this month. She's averaged north of 20 points in them.
Yeah, Kara Dunn has played fantastic since she got back healthy and into the Georgia Tech lineup. Alexis Tucker that time for Florida State, though, left wide open in transition, knocks down the 15-footer for back-to-back buckets for her.
Morgan down low, guarded by Makayla Timpson. Now here come the Noles looking to run. Transition defense will be especially important for Georgia Tech. Pagetti with the Euro step couldn't get the lay-in, and back come the Yellow Jackets. A nice dump down pass to Tony Morgan.
Ooh, nifty little move there from Amaria Gordon. Came to the jump stop off the dribble handoff and then just put it on the floor one time and got the wide open layup on the left side.
3-point lead for Florida State, 11-8 over Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech has tried to post up Kara Dunn on every possession. They're trying to get the mismatch with Tania Latson.
Adanaz will step inside the perimeter. Tucker going up for the rebound.
Nice transition opportunity here. Dunn finds Morgan streaking down the left side for the transition bucket. And then Gordon just with a little fake on Tony Morgan gets to the left side of the rim to finish. Nobody there.
Possession game here between Georgia Tech and Florida State. 3-ball by Amaria. Gordon was short. It moves to Naita. Trying to round the corner on Sarah Pagetti. Back up top to Kayla Blackshear. Dunn. Back to Blackshear. Step back for Dunn. And here comes Sarah Pagetti looking to run. Foul called on the floor.
I believe that's going to be on Tony Morgan, and if that is her second personal foul. Morgan trying to keep Sakaya White off of the glass, and Morgan, that's a big loss for Georgia Tech. Just 5 minutes into the game, she picks up those 2 fouls.
Morgan, as you mentioned, has been the statistical leader in a variety of categories for Georgia Tech. She's scored in double digits in 11 of their 12 games this season. It's a big loss for the moment for Nell Fortner and the Yellow Jackets. Amaya Bonner trying to pick her way through traffic along a couple of free throws.
Is Adanaz trying to step in to take the charge on Amaya Bonner, who had just checked in for Florida State. Take another look here. Adanaz not quite there Bonner going to go to the free throw line. She's just a 63% free throw shooter on the season. Averages about 7 points a game. The transfer from Cal.
Bonner played in 21 games a season ago, in fact, as a Cal freshman. Averaged roughly 6 or so minutes per game. This year, nearly 4 times as much. Has really seen some significant time for the Seminoles and has gotten off to a pretty good start here in her Florida State career. A handful of nice scoring showings, including one against Tennessee earlier this season. Augusta Naita, meanwhile, pull-up jumper is short. Latson.
Latson a little short on that layup. Sakaya White comes out of nowhere to grab the offensive board. She steps on the end line as she comes down. Officials see that. It'll be a turnover on Florida State.
Florida State, one of their last 7 from the floor. They lead by 5.
It'll be an offensive foul on Georgia Tech. Sydney Johnson, a transfer from Boston University. A little bit too much contact on that dribble handoff.
Johnson, a player who can play either the 1 or the 2 for Nell Fortner and Georgia Tech. That added depth certainly going to be of extra importance here today. Nice move by Sarah Bajetti, working her way to the basket and laying it in off the glass.
Talked earlier about Florida State wanting to shoot the 3. They are also trying to get to the rim. Points on the paint going to be a big number to watch here today. Can the Noles get by the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets and get those points in the paint at the rim?
Most of Florida State's points have come in the paint to this point. Blackshear, a player who's worked on expanding her range, lined that one up, but was just off the mark.
Sarah Bajetti trying to get to the paint again, couldn't quite get there.
How about Tania Latson just flying in from out of nowhere, swatting that basketball away. Florida State with the live ball turnover, now looking to find a 3 from Bonner.
That one halfway down for Amaya Bonner. Tania Latson draws all that attention when she gets into the paint. It will allow some open shots on the perimeter for Florida State.
Augusta Naita trying to create some space. Dunn left alone. Money.
For that last 3, Florida State had been on a little 6-0 run, but Dunn ends that. She now has 7 of the 11 for Georgia Tech.
And there's Tania Latson with another 3 of her own. The Noles respond with the perimeter shot by Latson, who's now made 2 in this game.
Tania Latson, in her 2 meetings against the Yellow Jackets last season, averaged 31 points per game. On pace for that already here today as well.
Sarah Bajetti crashes in to corral the rebound. Now driving downhill once again and travel.
Take a look here at the nice kick out to Kara Dunn, making the Seminoles pay for not closing out hard enough. And then Tania Latson pulls up. Dunn not closed out quite enough and can't get the hand in the face of Tania Latson.
Latson.
4 new players for Florida State. Brooke Wyckoff had a whole line change there. Maya Bonner going to stay on. It's Carla Villegas, Sue Turnage, Omaria Gordon, and Makayla Timpson all checking in for the Noles.
Termas Bahailo look to Blackshear up off the glass and good. Villegas left alone in the corner. You can't do that with a shooter like her.
Know that it's highlighted on the scouting report that Carla Villegas is looking to shoot 3s. Now Fortner not happy about that one, that her team didn't find Villegas in transition.
Florida State now with 3 threes in the game. Meanwhile, Georgia Tech working down low with Blackshear. A couple of buckets for the player they called KB.
And a steal for the Yellow Jackets, and they're off and running.
Augusta from the wing. Pull-up jumper is good.
She's another one that has the green light the minute she crosses half court. You know Russ is looking to shoot the three.
Scored 30 points in the ACC-SEC Challenge against the Gators of Florida. Did Augusta one of a couple of players for Georgia Tech to turn in a 30-point showing.
KK Timpson with the nice move, but can't finish.
Looking up top, Blackshear working down low through the double team will earn a trip to the free throw line.
Yellow Jackets have found something underneath with Kayla Blackshear. Bodying up Snoop Turnage, but there's Carla Villegas, the freshman sharpshooter from Spain. And then the freshman Augusta launching it for the Yellow Jackets.
So here's Georgia Tech, who's made each of their last 3 from the floor. And now looking to trim into this lead even further for Florida State with a couple of free throw opportunities for Kayla Blackshear, the junior from Orlando, Florida, who transferred into the program from Alabama. She's a 71.7% foul shooter. We'll give her 72%. Why not? And she connects on the first one.
Blackshear averaging about 13 points a game, nearly 7 rebounds a game. Can't connect on the second one there. Noles are off and running again.
Maria Gordon down the lane.
Gordon now with 6 points to tie her backcourt mate Tania Latson with 6.
3 made buckets for Amaria Gordon. Nice roll for Sydney Johnson, the 5th-year transfer from Powder Springs, Georgia.
Johnson having to play some extended minutes here with Tony Morgan on the bench with those 2 personal fouls. Noles going to hold for one last shot here.
Roughly a 2-second differential here between the shot clock and the game clock as Gordon brings it up for the Noles. Gordon all the way to the basket, too strong. Good look for the Noles. Bonner got a hand in there. There will be no attempts for Georgia Tech. And Florida State will take a 2-point lead to the second quarter.
Players in the ACC that are on display here in the season opener for both teams.
Florida State off a year where they surprised a lot of people, now coming in with some of that experience and expectation. Georgia Tech, a much different team this year than they were last year. 9-3 in non-conference. This is an opportunity for them to really stake their claim early on in ACC play. And there is Kayla Blackshear doing a lot of great work down low.
Kayla Blackshear getting it done there on the offensive glass. Georgia Tech out-rebounding Florida State so far in this game.
Well, Melissa, you mentioned some things to keep an eye on. Rebounding, paint points. Georgia Tech leads in both.
Yeah, and again, those are things that the coaches are looking at and kind of tracking on, where are people getting their points from? How are they getting it? Right now, Georgia Tech has got those second chance points, 7 of them so far here in this game.
Johnson short on the 3 from the left wing for Georgia Tech. Now here comes Florida State. Amaria Gordon dishing it to KK Timpson. Timpson looking to spin, looking to score. Off the mark, though, trying to get around Ariadna Termes.
Timpson just a little off balance there on that shot. Couldn't get it to fall.
Oh, nice pass.
And Blackshear doing her damage against this Florida State defense. 9 points now for Kayla Blackshear. She's got 5 rebounds already. Great start for her.
9 points for Blackshear, 7 more for Kara Dunn. And a travel by Amaya Bonner.
Well defended that time by Alliance Carter. Just a nice back cut. Florida State got caught switching. Blackshear dove right to the rim. Good find by Georgia Tech.
Great work for Georgia Tech, especially, too, with the lead by 2. And arguably their best player has been on the bench for more than half of the first quarter, still has not come out here in the second quarter because she picked up 2 early fouls.
There's Russ Augustinaide with the big step back three. They extend the lead to 5 for the Yellow Jackets.
Omari Gordon with the mid-range jumper right from the free throw line. Makes it a one-possession game here with 7:47 left in the half.
That bucket by Gordon stops the 7-0 run by Georgia Tech.
8 points for Omari and Gordon, 4 of 7 from the floor here through the first quarter and a couple of minutes here of the second. Augustinaide now working on Sarah Bajetti. Turnaround over Bajetti, corralled by Tucker.
Augustinaide just a little off balance there. Sarah Bajetti doing a nice job defending that, and then a turnover right back. Florida State gives it back. Tucker trying to get to the rim. Well defended by the Yellow Jackets.
Augustinaide leading the ACC, hitting over 40%, nearly 41% of her threes. She's 2 for 2 here early against the Noles.
I'm going to say that was the last touch by Yellow Jackets, and Florida State maintains the ball. Tanaya Latson slashes right to the rim, right by Kara Dunn.
Both of her previous buckets came from the perimeter. That's the first driving to the basket for Tanaya Latson here in this game. She's got 8. Gordon got a hand in there. Georgia Tech maintains possession. Carter now working up top. Inside 10, Termes. Dunn back to Termes. Termes, step back 3 off the mark. Blackshear, second chance opportunity for the Yellow Jackets. Carter knifing her way through traffic and laying it in.
Athletic move from Aviance Carter. Finishing strong at the rim after the offensive rebound.
Step back, Latson too strong.
The Tech off and running again.
Dunn traveled with the basketball, working on the baseline. That'll go back to Florida State.
Tanaya Latson there, able to get by. Help side a little late getting there. And then a nice move on the offensive end from Carter to finish at the rim.
As it stands, 3-point lead for Georgia Tech with 6:09 left here in the half. Sarah Bajetti nearly lost the handle and was fouled in the paint.
Foul going to go on Sydney Johnson. That is now her second personal foul, so that's 2 guards now for Georgia Tech with 2 personals.
Augustinaide will check in to relieve Johnson of her duties as Johnson heads back to the Georgia Tech bench. First possession here for Florida State. Sarah Bajetti turns the corner and lays it in with the left hand.
Florida State recognizing that Georgia Tech was switching on the ball screens, brought the post player Sakai White up. Sarah Bajetti gets the post player Thomas Harris on the mismatch.
The other way now comes Georgia Tech. Carter with the entry pass to Blackshear. Blackshear, jump hook off the glass and through. Blackshear has been tremendous down low for the Yellow Jackets.
11 points now for Kayla Blackshear, 5 of 6 shooting for the junior from Orlando.
Huge block. Guess who? Blackshear doing the work defensively. That's an air ball by Dunn offensively. Carter, though, crashes in and knocks it out of play off of Alexis Tucker. Remains with the Yellow Jackets.
Georgia Tech making the hustle plays right now. Let's take a look here at Blackshear. Nice move. Good left-handed finish in the paint for Blackshear. And then a big block coming over on the weak side. Niall Latson was asking for a foul.
Into Blackshear. Left hand, automatic at this point for Blackshear.
Too easy for Kayla Blackshear. Just puts it on the floor. Strong finish at the rim. Makayla Timpson up off the Florida State bench. Have to believe she's coming in to match up with Blackshear.
Wing 3 by Latson was short. 5-point lead for Georgia Tech.
Blackshear calling for the ball again.
I mean, why not at this point? Carter. Mid-range, short. S.K. White crashed in for the rebound, last touched by a Yellow Jacket. Thomas Harris knocked it out of play. It goes to Florida State. We'll take a break here at the Tucker Center and be right back.
Can't sleep.
Just a lot on my mind.
I can't sleep either.
It only gets tougher with age.
Mom, what?
Well, knowing Progressive can protect your home, auto, and business should help you relax.
Good, because I could use a good night's sleep.
Me too. You know how early a chimney sweep gets up every day?
Wait, is this all a dream?
Why would Jamie be in my dream?
I am America's biggest spokesperson.
Debatable.
I said biggest.
Well, he's got you there.
I recommend La Roche-Posay Lipicar Body Cream. One application a day keeps very dry skin away. 48-hour hydration helps repair the skin barrier. La Roche-Posay.
Being the best takes hard work. It takes early mornings, planning, precision, sweat, sacrifice, and teamwork. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in their game. Old Dominion Freight Line, helping the world keep promises.
Filling the trades gap.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital. I stopped 1,000 attackers
at a natural disaster.
Well, I go to school full-time while I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Wow, thanks, Justin Jefferson.
You know, we love eating Little Caesars and watching the Vikings play.
And one day, I'm gonna be just like you.
How about right now? Yes. How about another slice, Sport?
Thanks, Dad. So tasty. Gee whiz, Justin Jefferson's having a great day.
Just like this father and son.
JJ's gotta have his Little Caesars. Try stuffed Crazy Crust for only $9.49.
Pizza.
Welcome back to Tallahassee, where Kayla Blackshear has been tremendous early on for Georgia Tech.
Kayla Blackshear has been a force inside, both on the offensive and the defensive end. Getting offensive rebounds, put stick backs in, laying it in, blocking shots. The junior out of Orlando, Florida, and Lake Highland Prep, showing that she's ready for ACC play. Already with 13 points in this game, which is right at her season average.
I'd say so. 6 of 7 from the floor for Blackshear, who not only is at her season average in terms of points scored, but also in terms of rebounding. She scored 10 or more in 3 of the previous 4 games coming into this one. Now you can make it 4 of the last 5. And there's a traveling violation against Tucker and the Noles.
Alexa Tucker was trying to get the ball inside, wanted to hit Tania Latson on the back cut. And then at the last minute changed her mind, but she had already jumped to try to make that pass.
4:11 left here in the half. At the 4th turnover by Florida State. 4 turnovers also for Georgia Tech.
Florida State going to play a little zone defense here, trying to mix things up. Cool off Kayla Blackshear.
The ball's knocked away, Florida State. Turning over Georgia Tech for the 5th time. Latson up and under. Acrobatic move, and she lays it in for the Noles.
Not a lot you can do when Tania Latson gets the ball in the open floor, except maybe hope that she misses.
And she doesn't do that often. Blackshear out to Augusta Naita, back into Blackshear, turnaround off the mark. Thomas Harris, what a great job there on the offensive glass. She'll earn a trip to the free throw line.
That steal from KK Timpson, and then Tania Latson in the open floor. One of the best there is, uses her body to shield the defender off. And the Yellow Jackets coming back down, getting the ball. Kayla Blackshear. She couldn't finish, but the teammate Deasia Thomas-Harris, the freshman from Texas, with the weak side glass and the opportunity at the free throw line.
She doesn't make either of them, does Deasia Thomas-Harris, a player who hails from Katy, Texas. Had a double-double against Rice back home. And there's Carla Villegas, a long way away from home, but Tallahassee suits her just fine.
Long way away from the basket, too, as she knocks down a big three for Florida State to tie this game back up at 34.
3 minutes left here in the first half. Augusta Naita driving on the baseline. Gets it up top to Dunn, nearly over and back. Blackshear working down low. Thomas-Harris lost it on the way up. And that'll be Florida State's basketball. Out of bounds off the Yellow Jackets.
The Villegas three off the dribble, handoff. Just too much space for the freshman sharpshooter.
And she brings it up for the Noles. KK Timpson left all alone, driving to the basket. And Florida State leads at 36-34. They're on a 7-0 run over the last minute.
Florida State out of that timeout, switched to that 2-3 zone. Georgia Tech has had a little bit of trouble finding those open passing lanes.
Blackshear into the middle of the zone, kicks it out to the wing, and Dunn splashes it through. Georgia Tech leads by 1.
That'll work for the Yellow Jackets. A nice look inside out. That time touched the paint.
Meanwhile, there's Florida State doing what they like to do, turning on the afterburners. Nobody better at it than Tanaya Latson. She lays it in the Noles lead.
12 points now for Tanaya Latson on 5 of 11 shooting.
Back and forth we go. 1 point lead now for the Noles off the offensive glass. Dunn puts it back up. Timpson brings it down. Latson now pulling up from the elbow. Oh boy, Tanaya Latson's got that look about her now.
She's got that tongue out. Tanaya Latson feeling good. That was created by Carla Villegas running the floor, though. She created that driving lane because everybody knows you better get out and guard Villegas on the perimeter, and it allowed Latson to go one-on-one in the paint.
Greatness is a feeling. Fearless. Brotherhood. Greatness is more than winning the game. It's changing it. Touchdown. Greatness is what we do. Accomplish greatness.
Carla Villegas, a player that you, Melissa, just mentioned. She created that last look for Tanaya Latson. She's a player that Coach Wyckoff described earlier today as a smart kid, high basketball IQ, and the ultimate competitor who gets upset after every miss and is quite simply on a mission to be great.
Yeah, Villegas is one of those players that thinks every time she shoots the ball, it should go in.
And I'll tell you what, Rusna Augustinaita is another one of those. She hails from Lithuania, and she specializes in buckets. She's made a boatload this season already.
We may have featured the sophomores on the intro, but it's the freshmen that are lighting things up for both teams here so far.
What a fun game this has been. 40-all, final minute of the first half. Latson looking to connect with Villegas. Was it knocked away by a Yellow Jacket?
It was knocked away by Augustinaita. Again, it's fun to watch these two freshmen match up against each other as Russ guarding Carla.
And here is the sophomore guard for Florida State. Latson sending it in. Timpson and one.
KK Timpson, after that last made bucket, just carried herself a little differently. You saw the confidence after the last time down the floor when she was able to put it on the floor and get to the rim again there. As soon as she touched it, you could tell she was going to go up and finish through the contact.
KK Timpson heads to the line with 0 shooting, leading and 1.
Timpson with a chance to increase Florida State's lead to 3. She's on pace to have, it's early, but she is on pace to have a career year in terms of blocks, in terms of rebounds, in terms of steals, and the offensive numbers are right about where they were last year when she made the all-conference second team.
And that foul goes on Aisha won Aranaz, and that is now her second foul. So foul trouble mounting for the Yellow Jackets here early in this game.
Augusta Naita off balance, lined it up pretty well, though. It was short.
That looked good going in.
It's just been that kind of half for Rusna. And now Florida State will dribble a few seconds off. There's a 10-second differential between shot clock and game clock here in the first half. Latson working with the basketball. Pull up from beyond the free throw line. Too strong. Augusta Naita clears the board. Noles are 6 of their last 7 from the floor. A bucket here would be huge for Georgia Tech, and they'll call Sarah Bajetti for the reach.
Just the second team foul here in the quarter, so no free throws yet. Neither team has attempted very many free throws. Florida State 3 of 3 from the free throw line. Georgia Tech just 1 of 4 from the line so far in this game.
Thomas gets it over to Dunn. Dunn looking around the corner. Here's Blackshear, mid-range. Why not?
Kayla Blackshear with a fantastic finish to an amazing first half of basketball.
Set to send it in. It'll be Alexis Tucker to do the honors as she sends it in to Omaria Gordon. The Noles will operate first, now moving left to right. Latson driving to the basket, doing what she does.
Taya Latson, the minute she caught that ball off the dribble handoff, you could tell she was going to get to the rim one way or the other. Little flip pass from Omaria Gordon, crossover there. Taya Latson gets to the rim, finishes through the contact for Florida State.
8 straight games with 10 or more points scored for Latson, trending towards 20. And if she gets there, which it certainly seems likely that she will, that would be 4 straight 20-point games for Latson, who, as you mentioned earlier in the show, Melissa, scored north of 30 in both games against Georgia Tech a season ago.
Taya Latson was sensational last season against a lot of teams, but certainly against Georgia Tech last season. And you know that had to be something that these Yellow Jackets talked about in the scouting report. They're well aware of what Latson is capable of.
8 career 30-point games, 2 of which against the Yellow Jackets for Tania Latson. Meanwhile, Georgia Tech operating in their half-court set. Dunn driving into the paint with the right hand. Kara Dunn.
Haven't talked about Kara Dunn as much, but she has 12 points on 5 of 9 shooting for these Yellow Jackets. So she's put up some big numbers here already in this game as well.
Latson with the mid-range jumper and tried to score it over Toni Morgan. Morgan herself clearing the board for the Yellow Jackets. Blackshear into the paint, and that has been the move for her. Whether she's laid it in or floated it up, she has been tremendously effective there for Georgia Tech.
The Seminoles have had to play with a little bit of a mismatch on Blackshear, as Alexis Tucker, the guard, is playing against the 6'1" post player. See if Florida State makes any adjustments here. Here's what they do as KK Timpson will now try to shut down Blackshear.
20 made shots from both sides to this point in this game. Toni Morgan, who we mentioned, had the foul trouble in the first half, checking back in now for Georgia Tech. She's got 2. Augusta Naita, step back, no. Latson knocks it up. Timpson comes down with it. And as hard as these teams played, neither one fouled each other a whole heck of a lot in the first half. Georgia Tech, though, did foul Florida State 6 times to FSU, fouling the Yellow Jackets 3.
And Dunn just going hard for the ball, but she did make the contact and knocked KK Timpson over. Dunn not happy about the call, but that's her second. What it did do is it allows Georgia Tech at least to get up and set up some half-court defense and not allow Florida State to get out and run.
Nice dish to the corner by Latson. Bajetti's 3-ball was short.
Toni Morgan there to clean up the defensive glass, as she's done a lot this season.
Latson got a hand on it. It remains with Georgia Tech. 2-point lead for Florida State, 22 on the clock for the Yellow Jackets. It'll be the freshman Augusta Naita to send it in. Blackshear working on Timpson with the left hand, gets around her.
don't know what else to say about Kayla Blackshear except that she has been unstoppable here so far in this game. The Seminoles have not had an answer for what she can do so far inside.
Alexis Tucker has the ability to really light things up. She's done it a few times here this season. Did it a lot with UCSB, her previous school, out in the Big West. Back to Florida State.
Here's Blackshear just taking it right at one of the best defenders in the league in KK Timpson. Not a lot Timpson could do on that one as she used her body to shield off the basketball.
Blackshear, the third leading scorer on the team for Georgia Tech. 13.2 points per game for Kayla Blackshear, and well on her way to eclipsing that. And as you mentioned, Melissa, her career and season high came in the opener against Coastal Carolina. She scored 24 there. She's only 5 away from it now as Omari Gordon splashes the mid-range jumper through for a 2-point lead.
Omari Gordon now into double figures with 10 points, 5 of 8 shooting from the floor, 4 assists as well.
Morgan driving all the way to the basket. She'll earn a trip to the free throw line. Just 2 points in the game to this point for Tony Morgan. A lot of that due to the early foul trouble.
Foul going to go on Omari Gordon. I believe she came over and helped side to try to swat that one away and got a body on Tony Morgan.
And for all that Morgan has done well this season, the one glaring omission has actually been at the free throw line. But that one looked good.
I think that 54% may be a bit of an anomaly. She's a much better shooter than that from what we've seen here.
Makes both. And just like that, we are tied again. Pagetti back out to the corner. Gordon driving baseline. Doubled by Augusta Naita and Morgan. Got it back to Pagetti. Pagetti knocked down, makes the three anyway.
Sarah Pagetti shooting at 32% from beyond the three-point line. Knocking down a big one there for Florida State. The Noles now 5 of 11 to match Georgia Tech's 5 of 11 from the three-point line.
Sarah Pagetti averaging nearly 15 points per game in the month of December. That would be an ideal person to get heated up here in the second half if you're Florida State. They'll come away with the basketball there. That jumper was short.
Nice kick out there. Gordon protecting the basketball and then finding Sarah Pagetti behind the three-point line. Whistle foul here. That's going to go on Tony Morgan. I believe she got matched up with KK Timpson down below, and now that's 3 personal fouls on Tony Morgan.
Morgan's going to plead her case with Gina Cross, one of our umpires here today, our officiating crew, Kalani Spurlock, Eric Bruton, and then Gina Cross, who I mentioned having the conversation there with Tony Morgan. In it goes to Sarah Pagetti, 18 here for the Noles on the shot clock. Pagetti all the way down the lane, wide open for Sarah, and the Noles lead by 5.
It's a 5-0 run for Sarah Pagetti in Florida State.
Have made each of their last 3 from the floor. Here's Johnson off the screen. Carter from the free throw line, off the mark. Stick back attempt. That is no good. On third effort, Timpson swats it away. I believe that'll remain with Georgia Tech. But there's Timpson, the block leader in the ACC, asserting herself.
Yeah, a couple of offensive putback opportunities for the Yellow Jackets. They can't capitalize.
Timpson, as I mentioned, block leader in the ACC, also top 5 in rebounding. Skied for that one. Latson gets the roll on the opposite end. And while Georgia Tech has not made any of their last 5 shots, Florida State has made 4 of theirs. Morgan dishing it to Carter. Carter, the dribble penetration off the wing. Foul called on the floor. That'll likely go.
It's going to be Alexis Tucker, who was trying to box out the 6'3" Won't out of Nas. Tucker at just 5'11", a little bit undersized at that 4 position for Florida State. Doing a nice job of trying to keep the Yellow Jackets off the glass.
Now is a player who's strong, physical down in the post for Georgia Tech. Morgan inside 10, up and over Bonner. That is short. And last touched by a Yellow Jacket, I believe off of Carter. It goes to the Noles.
Well defended that time by Maya Bonner, guarding Tony Morgan one-on-one, forcing a difficult shot.
Gordon, nice pass, Timpson.
Florida State now on a 9-0 run over the last 2 minutes.
KK Timpson, who came alive really late in that second quarter, has been lighting it up here in the third. Johnson, mid-range, no. Tucker clears the glass. Latson again inside. Timpson, turnaround short. Florida State on a 9-0 run over the last 2.5 minutes. It's the largest lead of the game for the Seminoles. Foul called against them here.
Tony Morgan getting into the paint there for the Yellow Jackets and drawing the contact from Amaya Bonner.
So with the Noles asserting their biggest lead of the game, Georgia Tech will have a chance to trim into it at the free throw line after these messages.
Coach, Jake from State Farm.
Well, Patrick, it's official.
You saved with home and auto insurance. You're the league's most valuable bundler.
MVB? Me?
You surprised?
Man, I just did not see this coming. This is truly unexpected.
I'm gonna start locking this place up. Hey, you done?
Bundling, just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I recommend La Roche-Posay Lipicar Body Cream. 1 application a day keeps very dry skin away. 48-hour hydration helps repair the skin barrier. La Roche-Posay.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
And to handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah, road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
We get how uncertain the future is. We've come of age in a complex world, face to face with problems we didn't create. So what's going to happen next? We are. Because our future is the future. So we're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day and feed those left in the cold. We're going to do all this and more because we have an appointment with destiny.
Latson has been the headliner from the Noles, and she has looked every bit the part here in this game against Georgia Tech.
Yeah, well, she was the reigning ACC Freshman of the Year, All-American candidate most of last season, and she has picked up this sophomore season right where she left off last year, getting things done from the perimeter, getting to the rim. She had a couple of steals, a couple of assists, doing it all for Florida State so far here early in ACC play.
Just the first game of this ACC slate for both Florida State and Georgia Tech. And for more on Tania Latson, you see she's currently 19th in ESPN's top 25 list in women's college basketball. She was on the 2023-2024 preseason Wade watch list, was also the Freshman of the Year and the ACC Rookie of the Year last season. Just tremendous stuff from Tania Latson, who for large parts of last year was the leading scorer, not just in the ACC, but the entire country.
Another super sophomore at the line here. Tony Morgan, the Tallahassee native, playing for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Been saddled with that foul trouble. Hasn't gotten to play a lot of minutes, but looking to make an impact here in the third quarter. She knocks down 1-2.
Lead down to 8 for Florida State. Amaria Gordon pulls up for 3. That is off the mark. Timpson crashing in for the offensive rebound. And that pass nearly knocked away. In fact, it is. It goes to Georgia Tech and Blackshear. Blackshear dishing it out to Johnson, who lays it in transition. Neither of these teams have had the opportunity to get out and run much. Both of them like their chances if they get the opportunity to. Bonner up top to Tucker. Tucker fouled by Blackshear.
Just the first foul on Blackshear. There you see Blackshear doing it all for Georgia Tech. She was scoring in the paint. Not traditionally a guard with guard skills, but there you see her ability to handle the basketball and lead the break.
So Blackshear with 19 points, 6 rebounds. She's got a block. Now she's got a couple of assists. And this will be something to keep an eye on here. Florida State, throughout the course of the season, has done a really nice job through their pace and space and creating opportunities of getting to the free throw line. In fact, they have made more free throws to this point this season than their opponents have even attempted, Melissa.
Yeah, not so today. However, when you look down, Florida State 5 of 5 from the line. So they've only been able to get there now 6 times, whereas Georgia Tech has been there 8 already.
Florida State will be in the bonus, though, the remainder of this quarter. That's 3 minutes and 38 seconds. Well, if they get fouled, they will head to the line. So a chance for FSU to maybe earn some points there. Augusta Knight's a step-back 3 at the top of the key. That is no good and out of play. It'll go to Florida State.
Amaria Gordon lets that one go out of bounds. Probably a smart play, although I would love to see her grab it and take the ball in transition. This way it gives Georgia Tech the opportunity to get back and set up in the half court.
That did everything but drop for Tania Latson. Dunn picking her way to the basket. The finger roll is good for Kara Dunn.
Georgia Tech beating Florida State at their own game. They're getting out in transition and getting the easy scoring opportunities.
High-low look for Timpson. Turnaround money. KK Timpson did not score until 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first half. She now has 11 in the game.
And her teammates recognized that she had the mismatch as Sydney Johnson, the 5'9" senior guard, had gotten matched up on Timpson. Timpson able to score in the paint.
Blackshear dishing it to Dunn. And Dunn gets the roll. Now it's Kara Dunn heating up for Georgia Tech. Tucker in and out.
Tucker fell to the ground, and I think Tony Morgan had Kara Dunn if she'd wanted to throw the home run ball.
Instead, she dishes it to Dunn on the wing. That is short.
Florida State with a chance to run. Bonner heading downhill. Finish it through a little bit of contact, gets to the rim and knocks it down for Florida State.
And the lead is back to 8 for the 22nd ranked Seminoles. 65-57. Florida State. It's a rare opportunity to get out and run, and they cash that one in against Georgia Tech. Augusta Knight, though, left open in the corner, and Florida State got away with that one.
They definitely did, as that's not a player that you want to leave open in the corner.
Latson back the other way, and Tania Latson has scored 20 or more in 4 straight games.
Latson would not be denied on that play. Just put her shoulder down and was going to get through any contact at the rim by the Yellow Jackets.
10-point lead for Florida State. The largest the lead has been for the Noles at any point in this game. Dunn dishing it to Morgan out there on the wing. Foul called on the floor, I believe against Bonner.
It is Bonner that was going to run through trying to get to Tony Morgan and ran right over Sydney Johnson. Just the 4th team foul on the Noles, so no free throws yet for the Yellow Jackets.
Next foul by the Noles will send Georgia Tech to the free throw line. But for now, as you mentioned, it'll be an inbounds play for Kayla Dunn. Fresh 20 on the shot clock. Dunn gets it into Tony Morgan. Morgan, athletic move, gets the roll.
Seminoles got caught in a mismatch there. I think Sarah Bajetti was wanting to switch to get on to Tony Morgan, but couldn't get there in time.
Bajetti herself picked her way through traffic. Snoop Turnage with a huge offensive board for the Noles. Bonner trying to make her way through traffic again. There's Bonner trying to clean up her own miss and create another opportunity for Florida State, but it does come out to Georgia Tech. Blackshear had it rejected. KK Timpson got a palm up there and stole it away.
Tanaya Latson realizes that the Noles can hold it for just one shot, and she will do just that.
What a strong quarter of work for Florida State, who led by one at the half, 43-42. 24 more points and perhaps counting as Latson drives to the basket and beats the buzzer.
The fans here at the Tucker Center behind us. Second in the league, to be exact, before this game. 51 assists, just 15 turnovers on the season.
Florida State as a team in this one, 11 assists to 6 turnovers. And that's a great way to start quarter number 4 if you're Georgia Tech. Kayla Dunn off the glass and through.
Dunn with 18 points now for the Yellow Jackets.
Latson has hit a couple of threes early. Snoop Turnage with a big offensive board for the Noles. Bajetti too strong.
A couple of good looks from three-point range for Florida State. Snoop Turnage getting the extra possession for the Noles.
Johnson swinging into the corner for Dunn. Now back up to the transfer from Boston. Tony Morgan looking for a screen. Now on the pick and roll. Blackshear had it knocked away by S.K. White, but they're going to catch S.K. for the foul.
Take a look here. Kayla Dunn with the nice spin move in the paint for the Yellow Jackets. Sakai White on that last possession left her feet a little too early. Nice shot fake by Kayla Blackshear. She's having a career-type game today in Tallahassee. Gonna have a chance to get even closer to that career high. She got 19 already. She scored 24 earlier this season against Coastal Carolina.
First free throw attempt at everything but drop. Rimmed out back to Blackshear. Has a chance here to hit 20 points in this game if this one goes through, and it does. 7-point game. Nell Fortner's telling her team to get back on defense. And here's Sarah Bajetti for the Noles trying to turn the corner. That'll be a foul on the floor called against Georgia Tech. That'll be on the youngster, Augustinaita.
Augustinaita just a little bit too much contact there with the forearm on the ball handler, Sarah Bajetti.
12th team foul by Georgia Tech to 8 for Florida State. Amari Gordon off the inbounds play. Mid-range baseline jumper is good.
Gordon now at 12 points, 6 of 11 shooting for the junior.
And back up to 9 for Florida State. Kayla Dunn dishing it to Tony Morgan. Nice kick back to Dunn. It was a good look for Georgia Tech, but it didn't drop. And here comes Florida State looking to run. Latson keeps it herself. They're on the weak side. Timpson puts it back up. Third effort by Timpson is good.
KK Timpson just relentless on the offensive glass. See what she can do here on the defensive end. She'll commit the foul. As Kayla Dunn backs her down. Take a look here at the nice execution on the inbounds play. Georgia Tech needed to chase Omaria Gordon on that screen. And Timpson just would not be denied on the glass.
So I mentioned on the flip side for Georgia Tech, Blackshear hit 20 points, and if Dunn makes the second free throw here, she too will hit 20 points in this game. A chance for Georgia Tech to have a couple of 20-point scorers in this game, and they've got them.
Kara Dunn, we probably haven't talked enough about her, has been sensational for the Yellow Jackets. 8 of 14 shooting, 2 of 5 from long range, got 4 assists as well to help lead the Yellow Jackets.
On a player that Nell Fortner said she could not be more proud of. Really took the time, put in the work, and took a huge step forward in the offseason. Florida State will call timeout off the double team.
KK Timpson got trapped there on the baseline. Head coach Brooke Wyckoff knew that every possession valuable, goes ahead and calls the timeout so the Noles can maintain the possession of the basketball.
9-point lead for the Noles with 7:59 left in regulation over Georgia Tech in their ACC opener.
We pick up the phone because it's ringing. I should get this. Hello, this is Sam. How can I help you? That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you.
I recommend La Roche-Posay Lipicar Body Cream. 1 application a day keeps very dry skin away. 48-hour hydration helps repair the skin barrier. La Roche-Posay.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
And to handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah, road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
People want to define Gen Z, but that's our job.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital. I put out a forest fire. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
At a natural disaster.
I've saved lives. And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Filling the trades gap.
$5 duo at Burger King. Double up flavors when hunger dings. Whopper Jr. and Royal Crispy Wraps for a lunch, dinner, dinner, or late night snack. BK, have it your way.
Well, we were talking about her when Florida State called timeout. We're going to keep talking about her. Kara Dunn has had herself a day here in Tallahassee.
You said it earlier, she is getting it done. Both ends of the floor, but taking it strong to the rim. Shown the ability to finish through the contact, elevate over the Seminole defenders. She's got 20 points to lead her team so far this afternoon.
Dunn joining Blackshear with 20. Missed some time last season with injury, then missed 3 of the first 4 games this season, and really put in a lot of work in the offseason. Nell Fortner very proud of her for how she's evolved her game due to that, and now she scored 20 or more in 4 of the last 6 games, including today, and she had 39 against Georgia State. That is the most anybody in the ACC has scored in a single game this season.
Yeah, 39 points against anybody is phenomenal, and what I'm most impressed with is her ability to score at the rim. Just 5'11", but she's been able to score over players like the 6'3" KK Timpson.
Timpson herself saying, I can score at the rim too. She's responsible for Florida State's last 2 points. Now Timpson, who as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, didn't score until about 2 minutes left in the first half, now has 15 in this one, and she has a double-double with 10 rebounds as well.
Last foul on Sarah Bajetti, a little too physical there, trying to keep Tony Morgan out. There's KK Timpson asserting herself on the defensive end with a big block.
Block leader in the conference, one of the rebound leaders in the conference. Now here's Florida State finding Gordon from the wing, and there's FSU shooting the lights out like they can. They haven't shot as many threes threes as maybe they have in other games this season, but they have made now 6 in this game.
KK Timpson trying to go for this steal, keep the ball from getting in the paint, but here's a block on that last possession, which then led to the easy look on the perimeter for Amaria Gordon in transition.
Just like that, Florida State has made each of its last 3 baskets. They lead by 14.
They're going to call Amaria Gordon here with a hold. He's trying to deny Tony Morgan the basketball. A little bit too much contact. Officials tightening things up a little bit here in the fourth quarter.
And Georgia Tech will be in the bonus for the remainder of the fourth quarter, so they'll be shooting free throws for the last 7 minutes here of this quarter.
And that's big for the Yellow Jackets as they can chip away at this Florida State lead without any time running off the clock. Florida State going to have to be careful on the defensive end.
Every one of those free throws so important for Georgia Tech. Tony Morgan, who's had a hard time with them, comes away with a steal up from Tanaya Latson. Morgan dishing it to Blackshear, left hand, good.
Georgia Tech definitely not going away. Tony Morgan getting after it, talking a little bit as well.
8 points for Tony Morgan, and now an assist as well. The Jetty, no good. Morgan with the rebound. 6.5 left to play here in regulation. Florida State hanging on to an 11-point lead. Houston Knight to line that one up. It was in and out. Florida State clears the board with Alexis Tucker.
That's a big rebound for Alexis Tucker, going high to grab that one. And then Amaria Gordon with the circus shot. Big time play from the junior. How about that, Sean?
They call her OMG, and for good reason.
When you make plays like that, you earn your nickname.
You sure do. Florida State now has made 4 of their last 5 from the floor. Blackshear pulls up from the elbow. Hard to imagine that's the look Georgia Tech wanted, and now here come the Noles once again. Latson driving into the paint with the right hand. Too strong.
Latson trying to draw the contact. Latson's only been to the free throw line 1 time. She's the league's leader in free throw attempts. Not getting there today.
Despite that, 23 points for Latson. Great high-low look. Dunn lays it in.
Dunn calling for that ball. She had Amaria Gordon posted up for a good 3 or 4 seconds, and finally her teammates recognized it, threw it over the top. Get her the bucket with the no move needed.
Georgia Tech has 69 points in this game, 44 of those on the floor, courtesy of Blackshear and Dunn.
Tonight, Latson making it rain from beyond the three-point line. 26 points now to lead all scorers.
Latson now 3 of 5 from the perimeter. As we've reached a timeout on the floor, Georgia Tech has seen enough.
Take another look at that play. Again, OMG, making the unbelievable play at the rim, and Tanaya Latson draining it from beyond the three-point line to give Florida State the lead.
Noles have a full arsenal of weapons here in Tallahassee. And with Gordon and Latson lighting it up here in the fourth quarter, they lead by 14. The Noles have made 5 of their last 7 from the floor. Gordon, for her part, big uptick in terms of points per game from last season to this season. Field goal percentage right about the same, but really that perimeter shooting has also taken a big step forward. And while she's always taken good care of the basketball, Melissa, this year the assist numbers have continued to rise as well.
Amaria Gordon just playing with so much more confidence. She really hasn't been healthy in her first 2 seasons here. Had battled off-season foot and ankle injuries for her freshman and sophomore seasons. Finally healthy, was able to be in here in Tallahassee all summer long, continue to work on her body and work on her game. You're seeing that pay off for Amaria Gordon here early in this season.
She can score for the basketball. 17 points in this one for Omari Gordon. And the graphic that just flashed on the screen, too, her assist-to-turnover ratio, 3.4. That's one of the top 15 assist-turnover ratios in the country. Today, 6 assists, 1 turnover for Omari Gordon.
Yeah, and she has the ball in her hands the majority of the time for Florida State. Again, this is a 2-point guard system, and really sometimes 3 point guards on the floor at one time for Florida State. When you talk about Latson playing point guard for a lot of last season, Omari Gordon obviously a true point guard but can play that off guard position, and Sarah Bajetti really can play the point guard position as well. So lots of opportunities for guards here at Florida State to make a difference.
Guards certainly have made a difference in this one, and so too, Melissa, has KK Timpson, who's really lit things up here in the second half. All 15 points coming from the 2-minute mark in the first half all the way up to this point. 5 in the first, 10 in the second half. 9 rebounds, though, in the second half, including some big offensive boards that allowed Florida State some more second chance opportunities.
Yeah, KK Timpson has been a big difference maker here in the second half. Now with her 19th career double-double, which moves her into a tie for 10th place with a Duke Balgak, a former Seminole great here as well. KK Timpson in her junior season also etching her mark on these record books. She wears 21 because she told Brooke Wyckoff, I want to be like you. I want my jersey to hang in the rafter just like yours. And KK, you keep playing like that and your jersey will be there too.
Sarah Bajetti is going to be called for the foul on the inbounds play. Tony Morgan's going to head to the free throw line to shoot a couple.
Getting a little chippy out there on both sides. Bajetti and Morgan have both been warned now by official Gina Cross. But what that does for the Yellow Jackets is it puts Tony Morgan back at the free throw line and an opportunity to chip away at the lead with no time going off the clock. So Florida State gonna have to be a little careful about the fouls. As you mentioned, Georgia Tech now in the bonus the rest of the game.
Morgan 4 of 6, now make it 4 of 7 to this point in the game. Actually 4 of 8 as she missed both of those on that trip. That's not what you need if you're Georgia Tech, trailing by 14 with 4:40 left. Meanwhile, for Florida State, Latson, high-low look, beautiful pass to Timpson.
Tania Latson again draws all of that attention because you know what a prolific scorer she is, but she shares the basketball so well. Gets KK Timpson the easy look, and then Florida State aggressive on the defensive end, gets a hand in there, and it's a turnover by the Yellow Jackets. Here you look. Again, Tania draws 2 Georgia Tech defenders, and that leaves Timpson wide open underneath for the easy lay-in.
Georgia Tech tried to hit Dunn on the back cut and skipped it out of play. There's KK Timpson with an and-one opportunity for the Noles. They have hit full song here in this game against Georgia Tech. I'd say that it's something new, but they have been scoring at this clip from the drop.
Watch the emotion here from KK Timpson with the hand slap, the chest bump. She's feeling it right now for Florida State.
7-0 run over the last 50 seconds, and that is exactly what this Florida State team can do. And the amount of time it takes for you to find your seat or get your hand into the popcorn bag, they pop for a few points.
Florida State well on their way to score 20 or more points in each quarter here. 23 in the first, 20 in the second, 26 in the third quarter, and already 19 points for the Noles here in the fourth quarter, and we still have 4 minutes left to go.
Well, the bank is open for Tony Morgan, showing out here at home in Tallahassee.
Friday afternoon, the banks are open late in Tallahassee.
That'll trim the lead down to 16 with 3:45 left.
The Tallahassee native knows the home court role.
Bajetti off the hesitation. Big kick back out to Latson. That is no good. Timpson cleans it up off the glass.
They're going to call the foul first. As Tania Latson was fouled going to the rim. Again, we haven't seen her get there very much. A little bit surprising. We haven't seen Latson at the line more today. Just 1 free throw attempt, but she'll get 2 here after she was fouled by Kayla Blackshear. Latson has been good from the free throw line this season, 86% to be exact. You see her attempts have gone down just a little bit. I don't think that means that she's being any less aggressive going to the rim. Maybe just not getting those calls like she did last season, but knocks down a pair there.
Morgan driving to the basket, left alone on the baseline, and Toni Morgan has entered double digits in the scores column. She's got 13 now. Latson, nice dish. Gordon, though, way too strong. Johnson pulls it out. Morgan now looking for the corner on Timpson. She's been the hot hand here for Georgia Tech. Dunn working inside, guarded by Tucker, and Dunn with the right hand lays it in.
A nice spin move by Kara Dunn. Tucker went for it, almost had the steal, but then Dunn rips it away, spins the other direction, and finishes for Georgia Tech. She's had a nice performance. 24 points now for Kara Dunn.
Latson through contact, through traffic, forget about it, and count it.
And that'll be a 30-burger for Tanaya Latson, right about at her average from last season facing the Yellow Jackets.
She has scored 30 or more every time she's played Georgia Tech. That is her 9th 30 or more point game in her FSU career, and she's just in year 2, just kicking off ACC play in year 2.
Second time that she's scored 30 or more this season. Latson scored 30 against the Florida Gators down in Gainesville earlier this season. Florida State going to try to take the air out of the ball a little bit here and minimize possessions. Don't see that very often from Florida State.
16-point lead. Tucker from the wing, why not?
Alexis Tucker wants in on the action, making it rain. It's the 8th made 3-point field goal for Florida State, right at their season average. Augusta Naite. It's been pretty quiet here in the second half. Got off to a hot start. Just hasn't gotten many attempts this half, but will go to the free throw line, I believe, with 3 attempts there. She was fouled by Tanaya Latson.
Augusta Naite actually 11 points in this game, all of them, to your point, coming in the first half. So this would represent her first opportunity to break into the scorers column here in half number 2.
Just rims out for the freshman from Lithuania, 75% free throw shooter on the year, and again, she leads the ACC in 3-point field goal percentage, shoots it over 40% a game. You don't expect a shooter like her to miss those free throws. Well, Fortner a little surprised as well.
Got that one. She's up to 12 in the game. She'll trim the lead down to 18. As we take a second here to introduce you to what we got on deck. Wake Forest taking on number 22 Florida State. That'll be on ACC Network Sunday. Roy Philpott, Brooke Weisbrod on the call for that one.
Yeah, quick turnaround here for Florida State as they will be back here at the Tucker Center less than 48 hours from now for ACC game number 2.
You and I will be stepping over onto the radio side to call that one for Florida State. That'll be a shot clock violation, and that's just about all that's gone wrong for Florida State in this one. 95 points in this game.
Florida State just making a few too many extra passes. They were trying to get that highlight reel type of play, and Tanaya Latson couldn't get the shot off in time.
Augusta Naite, mid-range, that is short. And so the Noles will begin to salt this one away. And if you're Georgia Tech and you had no Laredo today and you continue to enjoy the reemergence of Kara Dunn, this Georgia Tech team is different, and they are going to be a team that's going to give some ACC foes some problems this year. But for Florida State, this is as good a start as you could hope for.
Well, and you expect a Georgia Tech team to be a solid defensive team, and last year they played fewer possessions. Not so this year. They are able to get the ball up the floor quickly and score, as you see there from Augusta Naite.
15-point differential here between Florida State and Georgia Tech, and the Noles will win it 95-88. 80 here at the Tucker Center over the Yellow Jackets. With that, the Noles have won 14 of their last 18 ACC openers.
It's a great start for Brooke Wyckoff and her squad here defending home court.